That was fire. I mean, it was almost like he went Pakistani Busta Rhymes on us. That was amazing. Hosh Amdeed. Welcome, everybody. We are headed back to Pakistan today. Welcome to the ultimate world music reaction channel, all about music and psychology and so much more. We are headed back to Pakistan today. Happy Independence Day to Pakistan happened on August 14th. I'm a couple of days late, I'm sorry, but I'm excited to share with you something special, which is another Coke Studio song. Season 9, Afreen, Rahat, Fateh Ali Khan, and Momina Mustehsan. I hope I'm saying her name right. Let's check it out. I know nothing about what this song is about. I'll put on subtitles, but I'm excited to check it out because I have been amazed by everything that Coke Studio has been doing in Nescafe Basement, which originated in Pakistan to showcase more local artists and various artists from the beautiful country of Pakistan. So let's check it out and enjoy. As always, subscribe and welcome. Here we go.
Coke Studio Season 9.
Okay, got that acoustic guitar intro. I love it. Okay, that was beautiful. That chord progression with the piano. I will start over. Really quick side note. One of the things we love doing here, not only exploring the lyrics, but also the psychology of the lyrics and the music. To me, right now, and I would like for you to comment right now what it makes you feel and think of. But to me, when we start with such a light-hearted acoustic guitar introduction, the chord progression that we just heard right on the piano, it allows for me to perceive more of a light-hearted, lovely feeling, right? Different music, different genres, different notes make us feel different things, right? Major notes versus minor notes, the happier versus the sad. Rhythmic elements play an important role on the effect music has on us, right? We are literally made up of rhythm. Our heartbeat, what gives us life and fuels us, the way that the neurons in our brain connect, right? Firing between neurons and those pathways that are formed. Our entire being, the way blood flows through our body, is an orchestra of music, is a rhythm, is beat. And that goes for nature too. And we listen, right? The wind rustling through the trees, birds chirping, the elements in nature. There's so much music all around us. And it's a phenomenal science. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful creation, but it has impact on us. Part of that is based on the society we live in, the culture, right? How our thinking has been shaped, what we perceive and how we feel about things. Part of that is personal experience, how we connect with different sounds, but it has various impacts on us nonetheless. For me, I'm getting a more hopeful, happy vibe. What are you feeling right now as this starts to play? Comment below as we listen together. Here we go. Buckle up. Let's start
Coke
over.
Studio Season 9.
Sound of the nation. I love that. Even the finger picking. La, la, la. Broom. Like a waterfall a little bit maybe. Beautiful. $438 million views.
ऐसा देखा नहीं खूबसूरत कोई जिस्म जैसे अजंता की मूरत कोई जिस्म जैसे निगाहों पे जादू कोई जिस्म नगमा कोई जिस्म खुशबू कोई जिस्म जैसे महकती हुई चांदनी जिस्म जैसे मचलती हुई रागनी जिस्म जैसे के खिलता हुआ एक चमन जिस्म जैसे के सूरज की पहली किरण जिस्म तरशा हुआ दिलकशो दिलनशी संदली संदली मरमरी मरमरी उसने जाना कि तारीफ मुमकिन नहीं उसने जाना कि तारीफ मुमकिन नहीं आफरी 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 तू भी देखे अगर तो कहे हम नशी आफरी 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 उसने जाना कि तारीफ मुमकिन नहीं उसने
I want to pause here real quick. Absolutely beautiful. What I was perceiving when it came to the chords, the notes that are being used here, I feel is fitting to the lyrics because as of now, it speaks of her beauty, right? It's enchanting, spellbound, comparing it to beautiful marble, flowers. I mean, absolutely poetic way to describe someone's beauty. And here it's referring to her beauty, so it could be implied it's a woman, maybe a love song here, a love song of admiration. Even these words of praise be to her creator, right? Such awe for someone's beauty to say, wow, you are made beautifully, right? Makes me think of a scripture where it says, I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Imagine if we learned to look at one another that way, not just in a romantic context of, oh, so beautiful, him, her, right? But in the sense of, wow, you were created so beautifully. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. I think the world would look quite different if we saw the divine in one another, if we saw the precious jewels and royalty we all are. Yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful. But it's painting a picture that to me could on one hand be interpreted like a love song, right? Someone admiring his beloved. But at the same time, just having listened to more of the music from Coke Studio and Nescafe Basement, I've also noticed that there's a lot of spirituality in the lyrics often. And so sometimes there may be lyrics that could reflect a love between a man and a woman in a relationship and a romantic type of love. But there's also elements to me that can be seen in its duality, both comparing it to human beings and their love and admiration for one another, but also towards the divine, right? Her could not only be referring to a person here, but something divine that's been created. It's just a thought, right? There's ways to interpret that, even if that's not what was meant. But as you know, music is art. We perceive art subjectively, but it gives it a beautiful, it makes it me think of spring, flowers blooming, nature, an appreciation for all things lovely and pure. Let's keep listening. Okay. Here we go. I love Momina's voice. Wow. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I'm stopping right as it's climaxing. Did you see the face of the drummer? He just is loving what he's doing. He's so part of this to me, I feel. He's just embracing the beauty, but also shining beauty himself. Isn't that crazy? When we cherish beauty in art and it saturates us from the inside out, it just comes out naturally. I feel like this is why world music and learning from other cultures is so important, because when we are, no man is an island, when we are so consumed with ourselves, we miss so much beauty and wisdom. And when we, especially as Western countries, can look also towards Eastern countries and cultures, there's so much beauty to learn when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to mindsets and wisdom, where in the West, because of social media, there may be a big focus on the external beauty, right? There may be a big focus on a search for meaning, right? These existential fears, these death anxieties we try to fight by staying forever young. And we want to be the best and get those views and, the swulture, as I say, the swipe culture. And then you hear these lyrics. And sure, on one hand, it could sound like this beautiful love song, as mentioned, right? This man saying, she's so beautiful, I'm enchanted. Now her saying, you're magical and irresistible, right? It's this call and response. Momina's voice, side note, is so beautiful. I love Rahat. I hope I'm saying his name okay. I love his voice, a very great range, the texture of his voice, what is distinct to what the Pakistani singers often do, right? The alterations between notes, that rapid switch between notes rhythmically and melodically, which is so beautiful. But then Momina coming in here beautifully complementing his voice with her feminine sweet sound, the texture of her voice that just beautifully matches, that just brings in a sweetness. It's almost like if flowers could sing. But it makes me think of this type of love, yeah, of this type of sweetness between people that love one another. But still, I see more here when I hear words like, you make me beautiful. Imagine being so loved and so admired beyond just, oh my gosh, right? Like beyond just momentary infatuation, a deep love of seeing the divine in someone else, seeing their beauty. There's something so special when we love one another. And I will keep going, and I can go back a little bit, but I want you to hear me real quick. You know, maybe you've heard of the book about by Chapman about the 5 love languages, right? Where we all want to love and receive love in different ways: words of affirmation, acts of service, gifts, quality time, etc. But it does people so good when you speak life into them, when you say compliments. Of course, it's important to mean it, right? But when we're kind to one another, when we smile at one another, it affects others, right? It's not just good for our own soul to do good. It doesn't only lift our own spirits, but it changes the world around us. And imagine having that type of love where you can see beauty in others and in the world around you and in yourself, to the point that you are making other people feel beautiful. And in turn, the more they practice that, the more we connect those neural pathways in our mind. I am worthy. I am loved. I am special. We now start believing that, right? My husband often says, what are you storying to yourself, right? What are we telling ourselves? What is the message we are hearing? And that's why it's so important to choose life with what we listen to, what we watch. I'm going off, but we're in the deep channel. So if you're new, welcome. But this is what we do. Let me go back a bit. To where she says, your eyes met mine. Afreen.
चेहरा एक फूल की तरह शादाब है, चेहरा उसका है या कोई माताब है, चेहरा जैसे गजल, चेहरा जाने गजल, चेहरा जैसे कली, चेहरा जैसे कमल, चेहरा जैसे तस्वीर भी, तस्वीर भी, चेहरा एक ख्वाब भी, चेहरा ताबीर भी, चेहरा कोई अलिफ लैल भी दास्तां, चेहरा एक पल यकीन, चेहरा एक पल गुमा, चेहरा जैसा के चेहरा कहीं भी नहीं, मारू मारू महजबी महजबी, उसने जाना कि तारीफ मुमकिन नहीं, उसने जाना कि तारीफ मुमकिन नहीं, आफरीन 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 आफरीन, तू भी देखे अगर तो कहे हम नशी, आफरीन 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 आफरीन, उसने जाना कि तारीफ मुमकिन नहीं.
Okay, we got a switch up here. Wow. 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 Rahat Fateh Ali Khan, I hope I'm saying his name right, maybe in short Ali Khan, that was phenomenal. He just pulled out some serious rasp in his voice, and that was a beautiful touch. Now, I don't know if this was just lyricless vocalization, right? Like ad-lipping, like we often find in soul and R&B and hip hop, like those runs artists do, or ad-lipping. But here, the Pakistani equivalent, that crazy fast switch between notes rhythmically and melodically. I don't know if it was lyricless vocalization or if he was saying actual words. If you know, please comment below. That was fire. I mean, it was almost like he went Pakistani Busta Rhymes on us. That was amazing, with the ladies or the choir in the background continuously singing Afreen. Momina, as I said, her beautiful elegance and these high notes she can hit with such perfect clarity. What a beautiful marriage to Rahat Ali Khan's voice. But you guys, oh my gosh, this was absolutely beautiful. To me, what I've learned, and I'm still learning, okay? So comment below if you know. I love also being educated in the comment section by those of you who know a lot about these things. What I'm seeing here, as mentioned already, is that beyond these songs, often Coke Studio, Nescafe Basement, being about love songs, though it would sound or appear so at first listen, at first sight, oftentimes there's a lot of spirituality, Sufi poetry, and it's absolutely beautiful. I noticed that there was a reference to the sculptured idols of Ajanta. And I looked up what that is, Ajanta Caves. And they are a 29 rock-cut Buddhist cave monuments from the 2nd century BCE. And they're considered masterpieces of Buddhist religious art. The caves include paintings and rock-cut sculptures, described as among the finest surviving examples of ancient Indian art. The caves were built in 2 phases, and they constitute of ancient monasteries and worship halls. So, that being said, since there's the reference here to the beauty of the sculptured idols of Ajanta, her beauty has bewitched our gaze, her beauty is an alluring song, I feel like, again, though it could sound like a love song, it is more about perhaps a reference to these sculptures, to this art, to what is cherished in Sufism, but also in Buddhism, ancient culture, ancient monuments and statues that have captured a reverence for the divine. So in light of that, even saying things like praise to her creator, maybe a nod to whoever has sculpted these, right? The monks and the people of old that have come and have worshipped and have left their legacy by creating these sculptures and creating these monuments, perhaps that being the creator they're referring to, or referring to the creator, the ultimate creator, God. I'm not sure. I would like to know, and so please educate me in the comments. But a beautiful poetic way of describing an admiration for that beauty, being mesmerized, being bewitched, being in awe of something, comparing it to scented moonlight. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever heard that. Scented moonlight, haunting melody, blossoming garden, okay? The beauty of the first light of dawn, sandalwood, marble. It really could be a reference to these ancient temples and sculptures, but also to me, it's a nod to the beauty we find in creation. So in a way, perhaps we could take this as both these sculptures and monuments, right? The marble, the sandalwood, these things that were carved and created in awe and worship and reverence of God and search for wisdom and for the divine, praising the creator who made these things, or a appreciation and admiration for the Creator and for the beautiful things that have been made that we find all around us, such as sandalwood, marble, the beautiful garden, the first light of dawn. It is such a beautiful way to get back to the basics of the things that make life breathtaking, right? We get so consumed depending on where we live and how much we have and what we're trying to accomplish, and life just passes by, and it's sombering to remember how it's like sand in our hands, right? That it runs through our hands and we can't get it back. It's the most valuable currency, the most valuable commodity, but we easily forget it because we're distracted and we are consumed by what the world teaches us is valuable. And there's something very powerful about coming back in touch with history, with the ancient, but also with the ancient of days, remembering these beautiful things around us, cherishing those things, the first light of dawn, right? When we breathe our last breath, we will no longer be able to experience the first light of dawn anymore. And regardless of your faith of what comes afterward, this earth, this life as we know it, when we reach the end of that and it's time to walk through those doors, I think most people would not say, oh, I wish I would have had more money. I wish I would have, achieved this more, or had a different type of body shape, or had bigger this and smaller that and more of this and less of that. I think we would all wish for more time. And so cherish those memories, cherish the beauty around you, find something in nature. It's very therapeutic, speaking of psychology and therapy, to use your senses to smell, touch, feel, hear things, to really cherish the beauty. It makes us come more alive so we can say, wow, I've lived life to the fullest. Regardless of how various people may interpret this, and I may even be wrong with how I'm interpreting it, but art is subjective and music is art. Let me know what you know about this song. And happy Independence Day to Pakistan. Thank you for sharing your beautiful culture with us. I, for one, I need to do more research on those caves, the Ajanta caves. What did you think? Comment below. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next ride. Ayo!